What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about a couple different things. One of which is Lucid being added to the Russell 3000, what that means ultimately for us as investors as well as Lucid. And I want to talk about their upcoming shareholder meeting on the 9th. There's one proposal, number 5, that I do want to discuss with you because it does have roughly about 277 million up for debate. So that is a big chunk of change. So I'm going to talk about that and again what that means for us as investors. Before I get into any of that though, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, let's get right to it. So you can see on the live ticker to my left, we are currently over the $19 mark, up roughly about 2.5%, give or take. 12.6 million as far as overall volume today, 32.4 is the average, and 1.3 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds today alone. So that is very good because we are over a lot of the pivotal points. I'm going to talk about that as well, but first and foremost, this. So Lucid, along with other companies, did get added to the Russell 3000. And we all know what happened when it came down to Lucid being added to the NASDAQ 100. A lot of institutions were forced, whether they wanted to or not, to add Lucid to their portfolios. Obviously, if they were tracking the NASDAQ 100. Similarly, the Russell 3000, there's a lot of institutions that are going to be forced to buy more Lucid than they already do have. So that's a very positive thing because at the end of the day, Lucid is one of those companies that already has a huge institutional backing, and that is just going to grow. So again, I like that. It will add a little bit more liquidity and stability to Lucid at the end of the day. But that will ultimately mean that most likely there will be a nice little bump up in the price close to June 24th. So that is when it's actually going to take effect, when a lot of institutions are going to have to add more Lucid to their portfolios by that date. So again, that's something for you to keep in mind. And I'm just going to pop back over here because when it comes down to their upcoming shareholder meeting, there is a lot of things up for debate. Again, I personally don't think it's that big of a deal, but I do want to discuss that with you. In case you do not know, it is on June the 9th at 9 a.m. On a side note, I am not a financial advisor. Anything I say is for entertainment purposes, and at the end, I hope you are entertained. But getting right to it, looking at their breakdown. So this is their document that kind of goes over everything that they're intending on touching on. So it touches on proposal number 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to touch more so on proposal number 5. I'm going to zoom in right here. So this is proposal number 5, approval of the amendment of the Lucid Group Stock Incentive Plan. So it does go over to say that they are, as far as the voting on if you can do an issuance of roughly about 15 million shares to staff. And at the end of the day, I know that does seem like a lot because 15 million shares equates to roughly about 277 million as far as a market share, that's current market price. But at the end of the day, we've also seen that based on all the kind of rumored news, Lucid is paying a lot less than other companies in the surrounding area to Arizona. Again, I haven't really validated that. A lot of people have said in the comments when I did touch on that, when that rumor did come out, saying that it was BS, blah, blah, blah. So again, let me know your thoughts on that. But I'm always a very strong believer you need to pay your employees right in order to actually get the skilled labor that you need. And Lucid, they have a very high quality product and you need very good labor to do that. So I do agree with this, that this might be necessary to obtain that higher quality staffing and things like that. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But this is one thing that I don't strongly feel a lot of people are really touching on. Similarly, if another company or any other company was to do this, I feel like a lot more people would be paying attention. But as far as right now, nobody's really touched on this because, like I said, 277 million is a considerable amount of change, a big chunk of change, obviously. So again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. I do want to go back to Interactive Brokers. Obviously, in case you guys don't know, when I do a lot of technical analysis, I touch on as far as the moving averages and some other indicators, and there is another Elliott wave format to do technical analysis. Some people are very familiar with that and really do like that. It kind of gives a little bit more of a futuristic projection of what could possibly happen. Again, I'm on Interactive Brokers. I do have a link to them in the description below, and also I'll put it in the comments if you do like a lot of the good information, such as analyst ratings. It gives everything that you need to know. But on a side note, I'm just going to go right here. So this is based on the projections for using the Elliott wave. It does have a short-term price for Lucid at $17.20 to $29.30. So clearly all the strength that Lucid has been showing over the last little bit and holding our strong support is fairly good, and showing a nice rebound is overdue in fact. So again, take that how you see that. Like I already said, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day, and don't forget to click on Interactive Brokers and play around with that. But getting back to it, I'm just going to go over some updated data points, one of which is this short information, because I always like to use that as a good benchmark, especially considering given the price and the strength Lucid has been showing. It does show that there could be a strong likelihood of a squeeze. But getting right to it, the short score on Lucid is 85.39, which is represented by utilization, short interest, and cost to borrow. Cost to borrow has been going up a little bit, so it's 15.03. Utilization is 100%, showing 100% of the available shares to short are currently out, and short interest on Lucid is currently 23.47, which given the circumstances is relatively high in my opinion. So like I said, take that how you see that. But also looking right here, some options activity, it's pretty much all over the place. There's a lot of big orders, bullish and bearish, most likely between the $16 to $25 range. So again, most likely we will trade between that range until something very much positive happens and puts us over that. So this is where it all kind of pieces together. If you're just looking at a lot of data points, it could project us going to that $25 range, which making that price prediction, like I already touched on, around $29 very much realistic, because once we get to that $25 range or even over $24, we're going to get a huge amount of momentum. Because even looking right here at the Fibonacci, these are some of the pivot points, and right now $19.25 is a very pivotal point for us. We did recently go below that, touched on a little bit though, but right now we are trading between the S1 and the pivot. Like I already said earlier, we did hit a high of $19.98, so over that pivot point, right below that R1. So it goes to show we do have what it takes to get up, and that's one thing that we desperately need, regardless of all the fear about recessions and even what Elon was saying about this. Elon is putting a hiring freeze, and tentatively as well, saying that they are going to be laying off roughly about 10% of their staff. So again, that shows that there might be something coming, or possibly just a lot of FUD out in the market as usual. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But overall, given the circumstances of what Lucid offers, I honestly think that Lucid is a home run of a deal, even at these prices right now. Obviously, you can tell based on a lot of the indicators, momentum, number of buyers have gone down considerably, so clearly a little bit more fear in the market as well. Stochastic, you have that deviation, so the red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment, and RSI is currently at 50. And like I said, looking at the actual chart, $20 mark, that is exactly a very, very pivotal point, which goes back to the Fibonacci. That is exactly what we bounced off of today. So most likely we're just going to consolidate a little bit, try again, and if we do get over that, then it's just a matter of time before 24 and then 29, and then we are at all-time highs. Let me know your thoughts overall, and I am welcome back. It's been a week since I've done a video, so it's obviously I've been keeping tabs on Lucid over the last little bit, but I had to do a little bit of a family vacation. Not had to, but it was fun to do that. But overall, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below, and what you've been doing over this past week. If you've been buying, selling, holding, doing whatever it is, let me know. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.